Yes, never mind. Slaying face. Yes.
Return
Now,
the relic to the pool of memories, and the slaying face will be most pleased.
what about the seeking face?
Every year we lose hunters to the Kohatkana expanse. Usually they're tracking last year's hunters. But nowhere in my notes have I found out what first enticed Kith to go prowling around that corner of the island.
Rank foolishness, I'd wager.
Not surprisingly, the expanse has become a sacred place to the Seeker. Return with something a failed Seeker before you left behind, and the spider will be pleased.
Okay. What about the surviving face?
The Tiebe o Waiapu has long had a reputation for being inhospitable. Yet, the sounder of boars that call the valley home seem to flourish there. Were you to return with proof that you had tread the valley's singular dangers, the surviving face would be well pleased.
Oh, I am ready to begin the hunt.
Galarde, I will see the western doors opened for you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Save. That the ghost of this apartment is not cool. Not at all. The forest fades into scattered glades along the western cliffs of Kazuwari. Trees stand sentinel overlooking the sheer stone plunge into the Deadfire Sea. You turn north, only to enter a large open field ringed with woods and peppered with small clumps of dense forest. Clouds of insects hum over the rotting remnants of discarded carcasses. The path before you looks roughly disturbed. Either. Though it's difficult to discern from the chaotic wreck of dirt and grass, it seems like multiple sets of cliff tracks came from the direction you did and continue towards the coast to the northwest. Another set of tracks, these from some manner of clawed beast, come from inland and follow the same path as the cliff track. Examine the beast. The tracks appear to have been left by a stallier, a very large stallier. The tracks overlap the cliff tracks and are overlapped by them in turn. Let's follow them. Despite your party's efforts, your companion loses the tracks amongst the tall grass and their dry dirt. By the time Eder declares it a lost cause, you've meandered further into an open field. You're not sure what it is. Perhaps the rustling of grass that's just a tad too intense to be the wind, or the way each of these corpses seem to have gotten only a little further than the last. But you have the uncomfortable feeling that you're being watched, or perhaps stalked. Run. Discarding caution, you bolt toward the forest's cover. Something, several somethings, found through the grass behind you. The long grass thins out as you race beneath the forest canopy. A glance over your shoulder confirms that there's nothing in immediate pursuit, and you slow to catch your breath. You catch glimpses of muscular, furred forms moving between the trees. No, that won't happen. Parker. You stop, crouching low to the ground, your back against the tree. You carefully light a spark cracker and lob it into the underbrush. You hear the cascade of cracks and pops as the explosive ignites, followed almost immediately by the rattle of grass parting before pouncing beasts. Large beasts. It takes a stalker a moment to realize their mistake. But then the pack of large hunting cats, each shoulder high to an elf, turn towards you, fur bristling and claws flexing. They stalk towards you. Of course they do. Oh, that is it. That's the thing. As the bright glow approaches the rhythm of a heartbeat, not your own, palms in your head, the light coalesces into the muscular features of a hulking Aumaua striding towards you.
Oh God!
The spirit shrinks away from the glow with a terrified yelp.
Water!
The soul roars as if in a challenge. He points a thick, gloved finger at you.
I wanted tougher, but you will suffice.
Very bad. What?
Listen better! Return your trophy to the old man. There is much left ahead of you to hunt, and far more to kill.
The lines of his face lose what definition they possessed, blurring into a featureless mass until the entirety of his form evaporates into thin air.
Well, wasn't he fun?
Any idea of who that was?
Hard to say. He certainly wasn't nice, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Poor attitude aside, he knew of Ingari, and he knew what you're up to. You should be careful.
He seems to want us to kill someone. Or something.
Do you think this is why Galloway didn't want you here? Maybe the Slayer wants you to kill the gods?
Maybe. Let's go.
I wonder if we'll run into more like him if we continue with these trials.
Hopefully not. A long arid expanse stretches before you, bordered on either side by dry, jagged cliffs. A handful of sharp-leaved trees and scraggly shrubs shake the landscape, but the miles are otherwise desolate. In the darkening distance, you make out a faint red glow high among the stony promontories. Use spyglass. You set your spyglass self towards the distant peaks. Through the lenses, you see no reddish light at all. You lower the instrument, and the strange illumination reappears. Perhaps it's a natural illusion, some trick of the atmosphere. Thoughts? Reke stretches with a grin. It is almost like I am home. I think we can either think about going through or just go through. I prefer the latter. Eder frowns down the length of a gorge. Not looking forward to it, but the only way we're getting to the end of this valley is through it. Elf sighs. If you're really asking, I would just soon we didn't. But you're not really asking, are you? Let's go. You pick your way among the dry stones and thorny brush. You swipe at stinging insects and scare off hissing lizards. The land itself seems set against you. The valley narrows for a time to the point where only two kith can walk abreast. You approach an ancient structure of stacked stones. The stones appear precarious. Carefully. Not carefully. Eder. The island shudders and the rocks fall from the wall. Eder manages to ward them off without difficulty. Your compatriot frowns at you and sighs. Oh. You still with me? I'm fine, okay? You've made some progress down the valley, but the light still seems distant. You continue on, forging ahead against the hostile environment. As you make your way forward, the pebbled earth shifts out from under you, plunging you into a hidden crevasse. Eder grabs you and holds you back up to solid ground. Eder brushes the dirt from you before you continue on. It's still distant. You continue on, forging ahead against the hostile environment. A wide crevasse opens before you, spanned by a line of an old rope. It takes several hours, but you manage to circumvent the gorge. Thank you. You continue on. A boulder blocks the path and you have to push it out of the way. You succeed, but as it rolls aside, it crushes Eder's hands. Trailing hands to chest, Eder begins to lag behind. and I wait for him. Ricky frowns, working at a bandage with dirty fingers. I leave yet? Please, we're getting closer to the end of this place. You continue on. Darkness falls as you continue deeper into the valley. The footing seems even more treacherous in the gloom, and soon enough, Pelagina slips and falls, head knocking hard against the stone ground. You help your companion up, only to be waved off. I'm fine! But Pelagina's progress has noticeably slowed. You continue on. You find the valley beyond partitioned off by a veritable wall of dry brambles. You force your way through the plants, but wounds snap across your eye, scratching your eyelid. We're finally almost there. How are you? Holding out. Alof frowns peevishly. That depends. Is there a purpose to this trek? And more importantly, a cool glass of palm wine and a long warm soak at the end of it? You continue on. As you push further towards your goal, what initially seems like a heavy blush of exertion across Alf's face grows into an increasingly whipping rash of broken sores. There aren't enough herbs available in this hardscrabble canyon to create a reasonable treatment. Alf's ways is those as unpleasant, but ultimately bearable. Alf was injured. Sweat-soaked and utterly exhausted, Alf begins to lag behind, muttering quietly about putting one foot before the other. As you trudge along the valley floor, the sun beats down on your party, blistering Rekka's skin. You notice your companion begin to slow behind you. When you finally reach the end of the valley, it almost comes as a surprise. The cliffs loom above you, crowned by their faint red illumination. Or perhaps that's simply the glow of the setting sun. After the rough passage down the valley, your arm refuses to cooperate. The grappling hook falls back to the dirt at your feet. After the ordeal that lies behind, the climb up the rock face seems almost relaxing. You're alone at the top of the promontory when you hear something moving around a nearby rock. You resolve not to press on alone, but the rest of the party makes little headway as the sound gets ever nearer. The red glow grows as its source comes into view, a necklace crafted from a shard of vermilion adra. The necklace hangs from the tusk of one of the largest boars you've ever seen. Oh my. That won't be ending well. The large boar, its quills bristling, snorts and stamps its hoof. The beast is taller than you are, and much heavier, all muscle, bone, and tusk. You look hungry, fella. Here, maybe I've got something you can eat. Its head tilts to the side slightly, and snout a quiver, and it cautiously hooves towards you. You like Oran's cradle? Everybody likes Oran's cradle. The boar sniffs at the mushrooms, then eats them out of your hand. Despite its size, the animal is surprisingly gentle. It sniffs at you as if seeking more. The boar cringes slightly as you move to scratch it behind the ear, but as you pet it, it relaxes, pressing its head onto your palm, softly nuzzling at your belly. The boar blinks quizzically as you remove the necklace from its tusk. The wispy, shimmering form of an Aumaua approaches you cautiously, their posture crouched and wary. Numerous scars and burns dot the soul's lanky limbs, but their face is a diffuse blur, devoid of defined cheekbones and jaws.
An Amawa soul. Do you see him? Or her? Them?
So that may live.
The figure gesticulates as if to speak, but only distorted fragments reach your senses. Yes, hopefully the aliens are no more. I did, in the end, fiddled with the cable. Maybe it helped. Did you perish here? Are you trying to tell me something?
Stare death in the face. Survive. Toamawai requires a champion. Learn from that relic. Grow as hard as it, that you may live to restore the crucible.
The figure lurches forward, its posture urgently pleading, but no words are spoken, and the form dissipates into nothing.
Well, that happened.
Any idea who that was?
Hard to say. The surviving face, perhaps, or a soul connected to it.
Were you able to understand it any better than I was?
I speak spirit, not crazy. It's like it was reaching out from somewhere far away.
Let's go.
I'll bet we learn more by completing the trials.
Early. Oh, okay. The deeper you travel into the island's southwestern wilds, the denser the jungle becomes. The air thickens, heavy with humidity, and the impenetrable canopy allows only the faintest light from the sky above. The path narrows into gloom before you, the persistent drone of insects subsiding into soft whispers on the edge of hearing. Tendrils of grey fog creep across the roots and vines, slowly rising, reaching as you push further into the island's expanse. The air grows opaque, and quiet murmurs carry on the faint breeze. Just as it reaches its thickest, the foggy morass part like a curtain, revealing again the path before you. Let's inspect the path. There is no hint of tracks here, neither animal, wilder, or kith, as if this trail has never before been traveled. Yes, Maya fixed my computer. Maya is a programmer, apparently. The paths to either side seems uncannily similar, almost symmetrical, as if a pane of glass runs between them, one the reflection of the other. The tree bent above like long, many-jointed legs, and her limbs entwine with vines into an impermeable tangle. Let's go left. Why am I still hurt? I probably didn't eat so. Ugh. You follow the trail and quiet rustling sounds murmur from the obscurity of the undergrowth. The path forks again before you. Between the two paths you find a simple statue. I need a piece of paper. So we went left. You find a simple statue, a stone pedestal topped with many-eyed face of the seeker. The statue has clearly been standing at this fork for ages, the lines weathered, the details worn away by the elements. Moss grows across the base and vines hang down from the spider-like head. The seeker's eyes stare at you, unblinking. Yet everything about the sculpture, down to the draping foliage, seems impossibly symmetrical. Left eye is okay. Everything except the one eye missing from the statue's right side. Alof, please interpret that for me. The seeker is rendered with an eye missing, or perhaps the eye has been removed since the statue defaced by some other contestants in the island's games. Alof examines the figure. Strange, isn't it? The seeker being presented as blinded? Partially so, anyway. Think the seeker's cult respects the blind any more than the slayers the feeble? You did not help me at all. Let's go left. The jungle grows darker as you press even more deeply into its heart. The path forks again before you, and while the split looks slightly similar to the last, you can tell it bears enough differences to suggest you're making progress. Okay? You can try that again. The progress. As you press deeper into the jungle, the path narrows as if the trees were looming ever nearer and threatening. They seem almost displeased with you. There are sorcerers, whispers in the woods grow, sounding less like insects and more like the chittering of some unseen audience. A rush of shifting leaves above serves as the only warning you get before the massive, bulbous form of a giant spider descends from the canopy. With impossible quickness, its legs wrap around Pelagina before the beast ascends again into the shadowy recess above. Pelagina's shouts go abruptly silent. Think it wanted a friend? No? Then we should probably see finding Pelagina. The path broadens and splits before you, impossibly returning to you a very familiar fork. The same statue. Okay, let's go right. Again displeased. Yes, gotta go after them. So, left. So it's a statue here. I went left, so let's go right. Okay, it's okay. We are here. I swear it's not changing. So we were supposed to go right, then left, right, left. Left. You continue into the growing gloom. To every side grow gargantuan trees, their upper branches disappearing into the darkness above, and the path winds among their bases, each as broad as a castle's turret. The path separates again, but this time there is no plinth and no bust of the seeker. Instead, you find a third path, central between two others. While the paths to either side appear almost reflections of one another, the central path looks scrambled and overgrown. It descends to the dark cave. You enter the dark cave, making your way through the winding darkness. For a time, you hear nothing save your own breathing, but then the whisper of insects draws you forward, growing gradually until it almost sets the air to humming. The cave disgorges you into the jungle, though the darkness is so deep you do not at first realize you've emerged. The chittering of mandibles and movement on heavy, many-jointed limbs echo above and around you. Let's go cautiously. The path broadens before abruptly terminating in a broad, open clearing. For a moment, it seems as if the jungle itself is aglow, each tree lined in fading green. But then you see the source of the illumination, a skull almost afire with soul energy. You get no chance to retrieve it, however, as spiders descend upon you from the darkness above. I don't mind the spiders usually. The only spiders that get to me are the ones from Path of Exile, because there they really made them sound disgusting. And it's not even the spiders alone, it's the sound they make. Hello? What did we say about launching fireballs onto your own team? Please, guys, allow me to click the thing. A soul shimmers before you, her faint glow unreflected by the trees. Flowing gossamer silk sheath her form and long black tendrils of hair crown her head.
Do you see her too?
Yes.
The crucible still serves its purpose, bringing Galawains devoted to battle, bringing battle to Galawains devoted. But a wound, a tear, festers in the heart of this place.
A wound? What kind of wound?
I ask you to risk life and limb in the crucible, but the desired outcome is not your death. The future of this place depends upon you seeking the champion's crown. Souls that prowl this island writhe in disharmony. Without your help, the...
The image falls silent as the woman's form loses definition. In the span of a breath, the apparition dissipates entirely, her words unfinished.
Oh, where'd she go? Hello, spirit lady?
Do you sense the turmoil she spoke of?
Not really, but I don't feel trapped here. Exactly. Not like she does. I came willingly, after all. Died willingly, I mean. And I've got you, right?
Do you have any idea who that was?
Not a clue. Perhaps she was the seeking face.
Perhaps.
Or perhaps some other poor soul trapped here on Kazuari.
Could be that as well.
Perhaps if we complete the other trials, we'll find similar spirits. And hopefully they'll be a touch more cheerful.
Not a chance.